There are two kinds of Jews, religious Jews, out there. There are people who do the mitzvot and they follow the laws of the Torah, but before they do certain mitzvah, they look at the convenience for themselves. What are they going to gain from that? How much reward eventually I'm going to receive in this life and in afterlife? And not that they don't follow the mitzvah, they ended up doing the mitzvah. But there is another kind of Jews that trying to do everything for the sake of heaven, which is a completely different level in the mitzvah. I would like to give a few examples. What I mean, what does it mean, L'Shem Shamayim, to be for the sake of heaven? In Auschwitz, the Nazis took a parochet from the synagogue. The parochet, the cover of the Sefer Torah ark, it says, Ze ashar la'Hashem tzadikim yavou bo. This is a gate to God that only the righteous Jews will enter in that gate. Moment before they took our grandparents to Olam Haba, to the world to come, they put a gate over there and they made fun of them. And they say, here, you see your mitzvah, your Torah, your religion, where is it leading you to? To hell, to this place, to the fire, to the gas chambers. They thought, we're gonna humiliate the Jews so bad, not only we kill them physically, we'll destroy them mentally. That's what they wanted to do. Obviously there were thousands of standing, waiting online. And you know what happened over there? It's really happened. The Jews started to dance. They made a party over there. They were getting inside the parochet, singing one after the other. Of course, there was one or two righteous ones that knew this world anyway, it's a whole way for the world of eternity. And they finally were happy. We're getting there finally. Not every Jew should celebrate before he leaves this world. Depends how he was in this life, of course. But those Jews were, one started to sing and all the other were following one after the other. There's a Jew here in Queens. I once told that story many years ago. I hope he's still alive. I don't know where he is. But he was there. And one time, a Nazi decided to humiliate him, and he started to put him down constantly. But that Jew, every time this Nazi came, he started to dance and sing. And the German was so upset that he told him once, listen, if you're not going to stop singing here, think about the situation that he was, and he was singing. We sometimes have everything we can imagine, we don't sing that much. But he had nothing at that point, and he started to sing and to dance. So the Nazi told him, if you're not going to stop, I will bury you alive. Alive. And he said, oh, what a great honor I have. And he started to sing even harder. So he told him, take off your clothes. He thought maybe it will embarrass him in front of the people. He took off his clothes. He left with a tzitzit. Nothing else. The Nazi said, what's this? Take it off. He said, no. This one I don't take off. So what do you mean? Oh, you already took off everything. He said, no. This one I don't take off. He said, why? What do you care about this so much? You already agreed for everything I told you. So I told him, this I take with me. When I come to Hashem, I'm going to wave it in front of him and say, thanks to the Torah that told me to walk with this tzitzit, take revenge on that monster that buried me alive. This is my evidence that I listen to God. This is exactly like Rabbi Akiva. Moment before Rabbi Akiva died, the Goy asked him, no, what happened to you? 120 years of Torah. In his case, it was 80 years. He became Baal Tshuva 40 years old. To teach all of us, it's never late. As long as you're alive, you can still change. But after 80 years of hard work, Rabbi Akiva, the Goy tell him, no, where is the justice? You see, he's so helpless. Rabbi Akiva told him, if somebody that sacrifices his life for Hashem to pay attention to every order in the Torah. That's his end. Like you brushing my skin with the metal brush and all this blood is dripping. It's needless to say what's gonna be the end of someone who goes against God. You're murdering me now. You see me. I'm righteous and that's my end for the little bit that I did. What's gonna be with you? He told the goy. And that goy, what happened with him? He realized that he's right. If he thought until now there's no justice, the opposite. Rabbi Akiva proved to him from here, that's the justice. You know, one of the things they used to do over there, they make the people standing 17 hours straight, from sunrise until the night, without moving. They used to move, they used to shoot. That's how it was. And of course, they were very weak. There was nothing to eat. 5 minutes before Shkia, almost 8 o'clock in the evening, one guy said to his friend, he was one row in front of him, Fischel, it's 5 minutes to sunset. The guy is dizzy. He said, wow, so 5 minutes to sunset, what can I do? He said, you fool, we did not put tefillin yet today. 5 minutes, that's what is on his mind. 17 hours, no food, no nothing, standing like there like a statue, afraid to move, that you don't hear a gunshot. In his mind, 17 hours. Will I have time to put tefillin or not? Not that many people know that the Torah, the Halakha, the word of Hashem to us in Har Sinai, is that if a person has a test and has, God forbid, he may lose his opportunity to make a positive mitzvah from the Torah. He has to give up to 20% of his overall net worth not to miss this mitzvah. Which means, if a person is in jail and the goy took away his tefillin, and he has $100 million in his bank account, and the goy say, I'm not giving you back the tefillin, and it's 5 minutes before sunset, he has an obligation, not recommendation, obligation, to give him up to 20% of what he's worth. So if he has $100 million, he has to give him $20 million. Must give him, not to miss this mitzvah of tefillin. And if it's the other way around, if the goy comes and say, eat this piece of meat, pork, eat it right now. He's trying to force him to eat. Then, if it's a restriction, if it's a sin, he has to give 100% of his net worth, not to violate one rule from the Torah. So that means, if he wants him to eat it, he has to give him $100 million. That's called a Shem Shamayim. Sometimes when you read it, when you see it in the books, if Hashem didn't think it's possible, he wouldn't make it an integral part of his Torah. That's the Torah. 100% of what you save in 50, 60 years not to make one little sin from the Torah. Now, in Morocco, there was a woman named Solika. Maybe some of you heard her story. The Muslims over there used to force the Jews to convert to Islam. Just before I came here today, I got an email from a Muslim woman that dating a Jew. They want to get married, but now they watch my website, some of the lectures, and she got scared. She realized, according to the Torah, that a non-Jew is not allowed to marry a Jew. So she sent me an email. I hope that I'm not the Goya that you're talking about in your lectures, that is not permitted to marry a Jew. Because I hope that since I believe in the same God and I love Him, maybe I'm permitted to marry a Jew. See how she understood? She thought that not all the Gentiles are not permitted, only certain ones. I answered her back, no, it's not our choice. God told us, you are my children, you belong to my nation, you are separate from all the nations. Whether we like it or not, it's besides the point. Besides the point, this Solika in Morocco, the prince took her and wanted to marry her. And the Muslims don't marry anyone until he converts to Islam. They try to force her to convert. They come every day to the house. No, No, the prince is waiting. You'll have everything. You have a palace, servants. You'll be the queen of Morocco eventually. What can be greater than that? We'll be nice to your people, to your family. We won't hurt anyone. Just convert. She refused. They gave her a due date. It's a truth story. Her grave is still there. Even Muslims are praying in her grave today. They know who she was, with stories, tradition. They gave her a due date. And the due date, she refused to convert. They tie her to a horse. And they say the horse begins to run now. And remember, there was in a time that there was no roads like today. It was full of stones and sands and thorns. They say once we'll give the horse the order, it will be too late to stop it. You're going to be hurt badly. Please change your mind before it's too late. The prince wants her. He doesn't want to see her suffering. He just hopes that she's going to change her mind. She said no. She says, Shema Israel, the horse begins to run. After 5 minutes, that her whole body is tear apart with bloods and wounds, she screams, stop the horse. All the Muslims over there were very happy. They said, finally we broke her spirits. She said, can I get a safety pin? Safety pin? She said, yes, just one safety pin. Said, let's give her a safety pin. She took a safety pin and she took her skirt that was flying in the wind while the horse was carrying her. She didn't want people to look at her. It's not modest. She tied her skirt into her skin. You know the pain. I don't have to tell you the pain. And now she said the horse can continue to run. These were our grandmothers only 2 or 3 generations ago. If the Jewish nation would be educated in the background, in all the generations that we had here, you'll be so proud who were our grandparents. It's amazing. The more you read, the more you get amazed. And it's not so much our fault. We came to this century. It's too easy for us. That's why we complain. Hillel HaZaken, the Gemara says, one time he came home and he heard people are screaming in his neighborhood. He told his student, for sure, it's not in my house. The Gemara says, if a person comes home and he hears something happen, if he begins to pray and say, please God, I hope it's not in my home, it's too late. If it's in his home, it happened already. What's the point of praying now? It's too late. You should have prayed maybe before. But the Gemara said that Hillel, the president of Israel, was the most humble person of that generation. The most humble. And the Gemara said, how was he so sure? Why did he brag and say, for sure it's not in my home? He's guaranteed to himself that it's such a perfect, righteous person that he's not worried that maybe something bad happened in his home. The Gemara said, no, that's not the explanation of this Gemara. The Gemara says, he educated his children and his wife never to complain once in their life. So he knew no matter what happened in our house, nobody cry and scream over there. No matter what. That's why it cannot be in my house. Understand the difference? Not because he thought, I'm so righteous, nothing can happen to me. Not that. We are now entering, there's few more days, in Chag Shavuot, every one of us get a decree from God how the entire year will look as far as Torah. How much Torah we'll be able to learn next year, how much merit we'll have to learn and to remember and to be successful in our learning of Torah. It's going to be determined in Chag Shavuot, which is the entire night. We stay up, we learn seriously all night, hopefully without spending time on speaking nonsense and all kinds of things that are not relevant to Torah. I want to encourage each one of you, take advantage on that holy night. The reason that we are up all night is because the nation of Israel went to sleep when the Torah was about to arrive. And because of that, for 3,318 years, we have to correct what we have done then. And that's called Hashem Shamayim. When you do it, not because it's convenient, not because it's sweet, because this is what Hashem said. Why we do it? Because Hashem said so. I will finish with one story. One Rav, Rosh Yeshiva, came to Rav Chaim Kanievsky, Gdol Ador. He said, Rabbi, it's the first time I have to go to America to collect money to my yeshiva. I never did it before. I have no choice. If I don't do it, the yeshiva will be shut down in a month. Give me a bracha that I'll be successful, because I don't know English. I don't know anybody there. I don't know. My chances are not so great, but I gotta take a chance. Rav Chaim Kanievsky gave him a warm bracha and said, don't worry, your yeshiva will not be closed down. Relax. The Rav came to America 3 weeks, knocking on doors, going begging people, help, have mercy. It's a big mitzvah to donate to the Torah. Be a part of the mitzvah we have. No, business is slow. Come back next year. I'm not home. He calls him from the window. Rabbi, I'm not home now. So, after 3 weeks of disappointment, he gets back to Israel. He hardly pays for his personal expenses, for the car, for the airfare. He comes to Israel so disappointed, and he's thinking, Gdol Ador, the biggest Rav, promised me everything will be fine. What's going on here? A week after, somebody comes to call him. Rav Chaim Kanievsky wants to see you. Wants to see me? He goes right away to the Rav. It's in Bnei Brak. He gets to the Rav says, here is a check for you. He looks at the check, $50,000. If he would collect half of it in America, I would be very happy. So, what's this? So somebody just came to me this morning, and he wanted me to recommend him a yeshiva that needs really this money. And I told him that your yeshiva needs this money. He didn't even ask him if he did well in America or not. Just handed him the check. The Rav asked him a question. We have to learn a lot from the answer, each one of us, about our entire life. He told him, Rabbi, I left my wife and my children. I left my student for 3 weeks. I went to a foreign country. I suffered. I slept in different places. I had to take buses to make mistakes. So much aggravation. I didn't know where to get food. There were hours every day I was hungry. Don't know where I can get kosher food. And I came out with nothing. And then you tell me that my salvation was across the street, 2 blocks away from my yeshiva? What? It doesn't make sense to me. Rav Chaim Kanievsky told him, if you wouldn't go to America and you wouldn't suffer for 3 weeks and pass the test that Hashem put in front of you, you wouldn't receive this $50,000 check across the street. When Hashem saw that you care for His Torah, you cry for the yeshiva, you're willing to give up your personal life, your wife, your children, to run, to beg people, to get the biggest embarrassment in life, to knock on doors, that the Torah will not stop in your building. Hashem changed your decree, whatever was the decree, and He sent the guy to me to send him to you. What do you think? Do you think that if you're going to put your efforts by this individual, your salvation will come from him? No. Depend on his merit. Not always he has the merit to do. Somebody else will come. But the other person sometimes wouldn't come until you prove that you deserve him to come. That's called Hashem Shamayim. For the sake of heaven. The Vilna Gaon, before he passed away, was holding a tzitzit in his hand and crying. Came his student to him, Rabbeinu, what are you crying for? He said, how can I not cry? I'm living a world that in few dollars, piece of material with some strings, every second you can earn a mitzvah. Once I died, I'm not going to earn it anymore. How can I not cry? Then he told them, I'm reviewing my entire life, and I have 2 hours that I don't know what I did in those 2 hours. You understand? 2 hours in his entire life that he messed up, maybe. What does it mean? Maybe he overslept, another half an hour. I don't know what it means. That there's 2 hours that I don't know what I did. For sure, it didn't make sense, don't get me wrong. But 2 hours I felt I wasted in my life. 2 hours. They came to one tzaddik, they said, Rabbi, each one of us contribute to the life of one Jew that is in danger. We are donating mitzvot for him. We each of us accept to read Tehillim, to learn Gemara, Mishnayos. Maybe Hashem will cure that Jew. So the rabbi told him, okay, I'm giving a minute of my learning for the health of this Jew. The guy told him, Rabbi, 1 minute from your time? I'm sorry that I'm being chutzpan. That's all you're giving? This guy gave 5 books of Tehillim. Women's are going to read the entire year. We accepted the whole perek of Gemara. So many things people do. With all the respect, maybe you didn't understand the urgency here. So the rabbi say, what? Do you understand what does it mean, a minute from my time? You know how much I fight for every minute? That rabbi, he says that he finished the entire Mishnayot every day while he was folding his tefillin after the davening. Most people, when they fold their tefillin, they look around, they smile, they talk, good morning, how are you, nice weather, oh, there's a lot of traffic, whatever. They fold his tefillin. And the time he was folding his tefillin, he was learning. Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, Gdol Ador of the Sfaradish people in the world today, he went to London to give a lecture. He was sitting, speaking to a huge crowd over there, more than 1,000 people, but he doesn't speak English. While he was speaking his Divrei Torah, that person that translate heard him continuing to whisper things. As the rabbi say something, he translated to the crowd. He thought maybe the rabbi is trying to tell him something. Excuse me? No, go ahead. Continue to talk. Then he said, Rabbi, you're confusing me. What did he hear? That the 10 seconds that it takes to translate his last 2-3 sentences, he was learning Mishnayot. Not to waste another 20-30 minutes from his life. A Jew that reached a very high madrega, very high level, knows that the biggest danger, the biggest enemy of the person is the waste of time. How much we can earn every day, but the Yetzer Hara, the Satan is confusing us. That's time. Don't be fanatic. Go to sleep. You need to sleep well. You have to eat. You sit 2 hours every day in a restaurant. You go here. You go on vacation. Very nice. In the end, most of your time that anyway has been wasted, you're going to miss it one day. We have to understand. I know everyone according to his level. Don't get me wrong. There are different levels. But the point is that if you hope, if you aim to this, to the level of these great people, maybe you reach 20%. If you don't aim there, where are you going to get? 5%, 2%? Remember, life, like you know how they say, we live once. In this generation, we live once. You live once, that's it. You live here. Someone who cook in Erev Shabbos will have what to eat on Shabbos. What's the difference? What does it mean? I always thought that the Gemara wants to teach us that if you made chulent or savor, whatever you made on Friday, you put it on a blech, you're going to have what to eat tomorrow morning. Then one day I woke up and I realized that it's nonsense, this thought. You don't need Gemara for this. Every fool in kindergarten knows it. You put chulent on a blech, you have what to eat tomorrow. Yeah, for this, the Gemara didn't bother to write such a thing. What's the secret here? Erev Shabbos is this world. This world is 6,000 years. Like 6 days of the creation. And the 7th day, Shabbat Vainafash, it's a spiritual day. Why 7? The Maharal said, 7, it's a sign of getting out of the material world. Everything in this world has 6 dimensions. South, north, west, east, up and down. 7 symbolize going out of the material. No connection to material anymore. Now you are spiritual 100%. That's why 7, this cycle of 7. 7 means leaving this world which is temporary, it's a place of a test, and entering a place of eternity that is not limited to material. Remember, Albert Einstein said, whenever you have material, you have time. If there's no material, there's no time. Not that many people knows that the Ramban 700 years before him also said it. But not the entire world knew who the Ramban was. Albert Einstein in this generation became very famous, so he got credit for that. But the Torah and Chazal, and especially the Ramban, spoke about it clearly, that this place has time because it has material, but that's not the time to speak about it. I would like to wish everyone, Bezrat Hashem, a great entry to Chag Shavuot, one of the 3 regalim. It's very special, very holy. Please take advantage of that time. It's preparation for accepting the Torah. Bezrat Hashem, Hashem will have mercy on us, will have the merit to learn Torah, to keep the Torah, and to be very successful. Thank you very much.